So it's never too early to start our NFL futures. By the way, we're going to start our NFL futures episodes the second and the third week of August. We'll have the full schedule out on social media. So today we're starting with the NFC North. And M Squared, I'm coming to you first. The Lions, 9.5. The Vikings, 8.5. The Packers, no more Aaron Rodgers, 7.5. And the Bears at 7.5, the Fighting Justin Fields. If we were to pick a team here, a total that you like, where are you going?
Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I do not like the Minnesota Vikings at all. I like the under 8.5 here on this win. This team largely overperformed last year, easily the luckiest team in the NFL. Now they've got a relatively difficult schedule with a lot of unknown in their division, which is why this number might look attractive to people. They still have, though, on this schedule, the Eagles, Chargers, Chiefs, 49ers, on the road at Denver, and the Cincinnati Bengals. They will be underdogs in every single one of those games. If they split anything with Green Bay, anything with Detroit, who has certainly improved once again, I think this team will consistently find themselves in very competitive games, but I think they'll come up short a little more than they did last season. So I actually like the under here on the Vikings.
So we start with a fade. Little dissension in the ranks too, Mikey. Apparently some news coming out of Minnesota about last year and Kirk Cousins not throwing it to Justin Jefferson when he should have. Stop it. Move on. M Squared, as always, thank you. Now, Danny Brasco, you know you're one of my absolute very favorites on social media, win or lose. But today we're talking about win totals. Are we fading or following one of these numbers that you are looking at on your screen?
Coach, well, first of all, I got to say, I've been loving Sia's NFL countdown. We are 49. How many Jamie Moyer days?
Snap.
Old school slow baller for you guys. Jamie
He's still
Moyer
pitching.
reference?
Yeah, he's still pitching. Yeah.
I mean, probably he's going to pitch till he's 100. In any case, I love the case that, and by the way, if you guys can guess in the comments, I see firing away about the jersey. If you can guess what jersey this is, I'll reveal at the end of my segment towards the end of the show. See you in the comments. But I like the case that Mike just made a lot against the Vikings. And for that reason, I'm going towards the over for the Detroit Lions. I picked them to win this division at plus 130 on Katie Mox's podcast. And man, I think they're going to be even better than last year. They had a great draft. Look, they may have lost Jamal Williams. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs right out of Alabama. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to add to that defense, hard-nosed defense. Bring back Alex Anzalone. And it's another year under Dan Campbell. I really just love the coach, love the way they play for him. They're slated to win this division. I really think they can do so. And I'm looking at 12 to 13 games I feel are winnable for them. So over 9.5, I'll take the Detroit Lions.
Taylor in the chat said, I can't wait for the NFL. MLB is starting to get a little bit stale. You know what, Taylor? At this time of the year, it starts to do that. We feel it too. We're here every single day, unlike any other shows that are on hiatus still. Name one. They're not on the air. All right. I like taking shots at people because they never come back at us. They don't want the smoke. They don't want any of it. Danny Brasco, as always, solid. Now, counselor, I'm looking at 4 teams right now. And most people that may have come into the brand this summer may not know that NFL is your bread and butter. What do we got?
First of all, we got a chat that really knows what they're doing because we have some correct guesses, and I'll leave it to Danny on that one. But I'm like shocked at how many people knew that right off the bat because I did not. First of all, I want to say this. I agree with Mikey when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings that we're going to see some regression there, but I do like what they did with their secondary, but I also agree that their schedule is really tough. I like them as maybe an outside shot. You can get them still at like plus 300 to win the division, and I think that's reasonable, especially since 2 of their last 3 games are against the Detroit Lions. But here, I'm going to go with the chalk here. I'm going to go with Danny. I'm going to take the Lions. I will say this. The first 2 games for the Lions are losable. They're going to play Kansas City. They'll lose that one, and then they're home against Seattle, and they could very easily lose that one. But to Danny's point, and Mikey's, the schedule gets really, really good from there. Their next 5 games, Atlanta, Green Bay, Carolina, Tampa, Baltimore, and the Vegas Raiders. They could win 5 out of 6 of those and then really attack that win total. So I'm going to go with the Lions here reluctantly, but from a division standpoint, I might take some money because of the number on the Minnesota Vikings.